Don't judge me for laying in this bed. I live in an apartment building with like steam radiator heat, and like there's no thermostat. I can't control these things. They just come on when they come on. So just stand here for a minute, and I'm gonna read you the Quran, chapter 28, the story. In the name of God, the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy. Ta Sin Mim. These are the verses of the scripture which make things clear. We recount to you, Prophet, part of the story of Moses and Pharaoh setting out the truth for people who believe. Pharaoh made himself high and mighty in the land and divided the people into different groups. I don't know if I have a pen here. Okay. Pharaoh dividing people into groups. Okay. One group he oppressed, slaughtering their sons, sparing their women. He was one of those who spread corruption. But we wish to favor those who were oppressed in the land by him, to make them leaders, the ones to survive, to establish the land, and through them show Pharaoh, Haman, and their armies the very thing they feared. We inspired Moses' mother, saying, "Suckle him, and then when you fear for his safety, put him in the river, and don't be afraid, and do not grieve, for we shall return him to you and make him a messenger." See, if you're crying because you were thrown out at 18 like me, Moses was thrown out when he was real little, okay? All right, anyway. Pharaoh's household picked him up and later became an enemy and a source of grief for them. Pharaoh, Haman, and their armies were wrongdoers, and Pharaoh's wife said, "Here is a joy to behold for me and you. Don't kill him. He may be of use to us, or we may adopt him as a son." They didn't realize what they were doing. The next day, Moses' mother felt a void in her heart, and if we had not strengthened it to make her one of those who believe, she would have revealed everything about him. She said to his sister, "Follow him." So she watched him from a distance without them knowing, and we ordained that he would refuse to feed from the wet nurse. His sister approached them and said, "Shall I tell you about a household which can bring him up for you and take good care of him?" And we restored him to his mother in the same way so that she might be comforted. Not grieve and know that God's promise is true, though most believing people do not understand. When Moses reached full maturity and manhood, we gave him wisdom, knowledge, and this is how we reward those who do good. He entered the city, unnoticed by its people, and found two men fighting, one from his own people, the other an enemy. The one from his own people cried out to him for help against the enemy. Moses struck him with his fist and killed him. He said, "This must be Satan's work. Clearly he is a misleading enemy." He said, "Lord, I have wronged myself. Forgive me." So he forgave him. He is truly the most forgiving, most merciful. He said, "My Lord, because of the blessings you have bestowed on me, I shall never support those who do evil." The next morning he was walking in the city, fearful and vigilant, when suddenly the man he had helped the day before cried to him. Moses said, "You are clearly a troublemaker." As he was about to attack the man who was an enemy to both of them, the man said, "Moses, are you going to kill me as you killed that person yesterday? You clearly want to be a tyrant in the land. You do not intend to put things right." Then the man came running from the furthest part of the city and said, "Moses, the authorities are talking about killing you. So leave. This is my sincere advice." So Moses left the city, fearful, weary, and prayed, "My Lord, save me from the people who do wrong." Moses killed somebody without due process, right? Hold on. And he made his way towards Midian. He was saying, "May my Lord guide me the right way." When he arrived at Midian waters, he found a group of men watering their flocks, and beside them 2 women keeping the flocks back. So he said, "What's the matter with you two?" They said, "We can't water our flocks until the shepherds take their sheep away. Our father is a very old man, and he watered their flocks for them." And he withdrew into the shade and prayed, "My lord, I'm in dire need of whatever good thing you may send me." And then one of the two women approached him, walking shyly, and said, "My father is asking for you. He wants to reward you for watering our flocks for us." When Moses came to him and told him his story, the old man said, "Don't be afraid. You're safe now from the people who do wrong." One of the women said, "Father, hire him. A strong, trustworthy man is best to hire." The father said, "I would like him to marry one of these daughters of mine on the condition that you serve me for 8 years. And if you complete 10, it's going to be on your own free will. I do not intend to make things difficult for you. God willing, you will find that I am a fair man." And Moses said, "Let that be an agreement between us. Whichever of the two terms I fulfill, let there be no injustice to me. God is witness to what we say." Once Moses had fulfilled the term and was traveling with his family, he caught sight of a fire on the side of a mountain and said to his family, "Wait, I see a fire. I will bring you news from there, or a burning stick for you to warm yourselves." But when he reached it, a voice called out to him from the right hand of the side of the valley from a tree on blessed ground, "Moses, I am the God of the Lord of all worlds." Coming from a tree. "Throw down your staff." When he saw his staff moving like a snake, he fled in fear and would not return. Again he was called, "Moses, draw near. Don't be afraid. You are one of those who are safe. Put your hand inside your cloak and it will become white, but unharmed. Hold your arm close to your side, free from all fear. These shall be 2 signs from your Lord to Pharaoh and his chiefs. They are truly wicked people." Moses said, "My Lord, I killed one of their men, and I fear that they're going to kill me. My brother Aaron is more eloquent than I. Send him with me to help me and confirm my words. I fear that they're going to call me a liar." God said, "We shall strengthen you through your brother. We shall give you both power so that they cannot touch you. With our signs and those who follow you, you will triumph." Those who follow you will triumph too. But when Moses came to them with our clear signs, they said, "These are mere conjuring tricks. We never heard this from our forefathers." Moses said, "My Lord knows best who comes with guidance from him and who will have the final home. Wrongdoers never succeed." Pharaoh and his counselors said to them, "You have no other God that I know of except me. Come on, light me a fire to bake clay bricks, and I'll build a tall building so that I may climb up to Moses' God, because I'm convinced that he's lying." Pharaoh and his armies behaved arrogantly in the land with no right. They thought that they would not be brought back to us. So we seized him and his armies and threw them into the sea. See what became of the wrongdoers? We made them leaders, calling others only to the fire. In the day of resurrection, they will not be helped. We made our rejection pursue them in this world, and on the day of resurrection, they will be among the despised. After we had destroyed their earlier generations, we gave Moses the scripture to provide insight, guidance, and mercy for the people so that they might take heed. You, Muhammad, were not present on the western side of the mountain when we gave our command to Moses. You were not there. We brought you into being many generations who lived long lives. You did not live among the people of Midian or recite our revelation to them. We have always sent messengers to the people. You were not present on the side of the Mount Sinai when we called out to Moses. But you, too, have been sent as an act of grace from your Lord to give warning to a people to whom no warner has come before, so that they may take heed and may not say, if a disaster should befall them as a result of what they have done with their own hands, Lord, if only you had sent us a messenger, we might have followed your message and become believers. Even now that our truth has come to them, they say, why has he not been given signs like those given to Moses? Did they not also deny the truth that was given to Moses before? They say 2 kinds of sorcery, helping each other, and we refuse to accept either of them. Say, Muhammad, then produce a book from God that gives better guidance than these two, and I will follow it. If you are telling the truth, if you do not respond, you will know that they only follow their own desires. Who is further astray than the one who follows his own desires with no guidance from God? Truly, God does not guide those who do wrong. We have caused our word to come to them from time after time so that they may be mindful. Those to whom we gave the scriptures before believe it, and when it is recited to them, we believe in it. It is the truth from our Lord. Before it came, we had devoted ourselves to him. They will be given their reward twice over because they are steadfast. Repel evil with good. Give to others out of what we have given them, and turn away whenever they hear frivolous talk, saying, "We have our deeds and you have yours. Peace be with you. We do not seek the company of foolish people." You, prophet, cannot guide them. You cannot guide everyone you love to the truth. It's God who guides whoever he wills. He knows what's best. Those who will follow guidance, they say, if we were to follow guidance with you, we would be swept from the land. Have we not established for them a secure sanctuary where every kind of produce is brought as a provision from us? But most of them do not comprehend. We have destroyed a community that once reveled in its wanton wealth and easy living, since their dwelling places have barely been inhabited. We are only heir. Your Lord would never destroy towns without first raising a messenger in the midst to recite our messages to them, nor would we destroy towns unless their inhabitants were evildoers. Whatever things you have been given for this life of this world are merely temporal gratification and vanity, and that is with God is better and more lasting. Will you not use your reason? Can the person who will see the fulfillment of good promise? We gave him to be compared to someone. We have given some enjoyment for this worldly life, but who on the day of resurrection will be summoned? The day will come when God will call them, saying, "Where now are those you allege are my partners?" Those ringleaders against whom the verdict will be passed will say, ringleaders against whom the verdict will be passed will say, "Our Lord, these are the ones we caused to deviate. We caused them to deviate. As we ourselves deviated. But now we disown them before you. They did not really serve us." It will be said to them now, "Call those you worshipped as partners," and they will call them but receive no answer. Right to voicemail. They will see the suffering and wish they had followed the guidance. On that day he will call them, saying, "How did you respond to my messengers?" All arguments will seem obscure to them on that day, and they will not be able to consult one another. Yet anyone who has repented, believed, and done good deeds, and hopes to find himself among the successful, your Lord creates what he pleases and chooses those he will. They have no choice. So, glory be to God, and may he be exalted above the partners they ascribe to him. Your Lord knows what their hearts conceal and what they reveal. He is God. There is no God but him. All praise belongs to him in this world and the next. He is the judgment, and to him you shall be returned. Say, prophet, just think, if God were to cast a perpetual night over you until the day of resurrection, what God other than he could bring you light? Do you not listen? Say, just think, if God were to cast a perpetual day over you until the day of resurrection, what God other than he could give you night in which to rest? Do you not see? In his mercy he has given you night and day so that you may rest and seek his bounty and be grateful. The day will come when he will call out to them, saying, "Where are your partners you claimed for me?" We shall call a witness from every community and say, "Produce your evidence," and they will know the truth belongs to God alone. for the gods they invented will forsake them. Korah was one of Moses' people, but he oppressed them. We have given him such treasures that even their keys would have weighed down a whole company of strong men. The people said to him, "Do not gloat, for God does not like people who gloat. Seek the life to come by means of what God has granted you, but do not neglect your rightful share in this world. Do good to others as God has done to you. Do not seek to spread corruption in the land, for God does not love those who do this." But he answered, "This wealth was given to me on account of the knowledge I possess." Did he not know that God had destroyed many generations before him, who had great power than him and built up greater wealth? The guilty will not be questioned about their sins. He went out among his people in all his pomp, and those whose aim was the life of this world said, "If only we had been given something like what the qarun, Qarun, Quran, it's probably Quran maybe. If only we had been given something like what the Quran has been given. He is really a very fortunate man." But those who were given knowledge said, "Alas, for you, God's reward is better for those who believe and do good deeds. Only those who are steadfast will attain this. We caused the earth to swallow him and his home. He had no army to help him against God, nor could he defend himself. In the next day, those who had the day before wished to be in his place exclaimed, 'Alas for you, Qarun. It is God alone who gives what he will, abundantly, sparingly, to whichever he will of his creatures. If God had not been gracious to us, he would have caused the earth to swallow us. Alas, indeed, those who deny the truth will never prosper. We grant the home in the hereafter to those who do not seek superiority on earth or spread corruption. The happy ending is awarded to those who are mindful of God. Whoever comes before God with a good deed will receive a better reward. Whoever comes with an evil deed will be punished only for what he has done. He who has made the Quran binding on you, prophet, will bring you back home. So say, my Lord knows best who has brought true guidance and who is blatantly astray. You yourselves could not have expected the scripture to be sent to you. It came only as a mercy from your Lord, so give no help to the disbelievers. Do not let them turn you away from God's revelations after they have been revealed to you. Call people to your Lord. Never become one of those who ascribe partners to God. Do not call out to any other God beside God, for there is no God but him. Everything will perish except his face. He is the judgment, and to him you shall all be brought back.